How y'all doing? How y'all doing? There's a report going on showing that black people with bachelor's degree make less wealth than a white college dropout or a white college or white high school graduate. So that means we're going into debt $40,000, $30,000 in order just to make less money than white people. And the reason why we are vulnerable and susceptible to issues like that is because everything we do, we seek white people approval. And the reason we do that is because we need them for our survival. Hey, that's just what it is. Right now, we got to go to them for jobs and everything. The only way to get from beyond that and to prevent you from having to put your children in that position to continuously deal with this system of racism that denies them access to opportunities simply because of the color of their skin is for you to start to build your own institutions, to create your own job opportunities for you and your people. And we will begin to do that by understanding how investment works. Understand, in a community, there are stakeholders and stockholders, right? When you establish a company, you create people who pull together the resources. They are the stockholders in that company, right? And they get a return on their investment by whatever product or that company produce or sell. But you also have what is called stakeholders, which is the people in the community who going to receive jobs based on this plant being here, the deli owner, and various other businesses that would benefit off of the commerce that is coming due to this company. So we have to understand this, and we have to build a community where we are stockholders and stakeholders. So let's get the basic concept of investment out the way. I want us to understand how investment work and how to read and study investments so that we can apply it to us and ourselves and building our own corporations. So for an example, when you read a stock, it's going to look similar to this. This is the 52-week high, 52-week low. We're using Wisconsin Energy stock, for example. So the 52-week high for the company is $109 a stock and 53 cents. The low is $68.01. Now, what this number entails is the fluctuation of the stock. Where is that from here to there? And then you will look at the current price, which is $81. So you know the saying, buy low, sell high. So you buying somewhere in that middle aspect of it, from $68 to $81, and the height of it is $109. But you would do your research, see why it went down so though. Okay, so the ticker symbol for Wisconsin Energy is WEC. Now the PE ratio. This means price over earnings. So let me break this down for you. So price over earnings right? Earnings. So just to give you an example what that means. So say you got a company selling it earns $1 a share, right? So they release earnings. This company earns $1 a share. So this company say Nike, NKE. Just say Nike. Nike own $1 a share, right? They release their earnings, right? Now its PE ratio is 10, right? Say PE ratio, price over earnings, is 10, right? What that means is that, and so the company will be selling that, if it got a PE ratio of 10, it earns $1 a share, so it's selling that $10 a share, right? So PE ratio means the company price over earnings, meaning you paying 10 times what that stock earned per share. That's what the PE ratio means. And so companies have what is called a historical average PE ratio, right? So it means if it earns $1 a share and its historical PE ratio is 10, right? And then so next quarterly earnings projections is to be $1.50, right? And it has a 10-year historical average of 10 PE ratio, right? So that means then if it stick with his historical average, that means next quarter when it go to $1.50 per share, right? When it go to $1.50 per share, right? When it go to $1.50 per share that it earns, right? Earnings. Wait, oh, so I messed that up. When it go to $1.50 per share, it's earning, right? Now, so the P for the P ratio to stay the same, the stock will grow to $15, right? Because its historical average is 10, so 10 times $1.50 per share is $15. So they use that as an example or to see how a company is expected to grow with the PE ratio. That's the significance of that number. Now, you use the volume. Now, you have, this is the price, where the stock last closed at $81.93. Change is $2. It's $2.09. So would have been closed at because the market ain't open yet. So it would have been the close. It's been the same price because it ain't open yet. Volume is 1.68 million people traded the stock that day. So that means that's just an example of how liquid the company is. So you have different forms of assets. What's the liquidations of them when you're doing investment? This would make stocks so liquidable. 168 million stocks traded hands in one day. So that means you can easily sell your stocks. Dividend is 67 cents per quarter, which equals out to $2.71 annually. That's the dividend for We Energy stock. That's a yield of 3.3% off the dividend. Meaning you put your money in, just off dividend payment by itself, you're going to get a return of 3.3%, which is way better than what you're getting in the bank, right? Now, I want us to understand that basic for financing, because what we're going to start to do here is we're going to start to find stocks and invest in various stocks and create a portfolio. Now, before we go into that creating that portfolio, right, we're going to have to decide before we go into creating that portfolio, we're going to have to decide what type of stocks we want to buy. But before we decide what type of stocks we want to buy, we just got to decide what type of entity we're going to invest in. Because now you have various forms of entities to invest in, right? You have what is called, various forms of entities when you talk about investing has different forms of tax benefits to them. So, and it has various benefits. If you got a job, everybody know, if you got a job for a private company, you got a 401k. If you got a government job, you got a 403b, which is equivalent to the 401k. You can have what is called a IRA, right? Then you have what is called a IRA Roth, ROTH. You have what I use is called a simple, SEP, a simple 401k. This is for entrepreneurs. You also have a solo 401k, which is for people who are self-employed, not necessarily an entrepreneur, but like a carpenter or something like that. You have what is called a solo 401k as well. Now, various companies have various of these assets. When you look into investment, has different tax benefits. This has tax deductible before you put your money into it. Same as this one. Both from government. This is government, that's private. The 401k. Normally your employee will match you a certain amount. So any financial advisor would suggest that you maximize up to the amount that your employee will match you into the 401k or the 403b. Then they most likely would suggest you roll it over to either IRA or IRA Roth. Most likely a regular IRA first. And the purpose of that is these are all tax. This money you can invest in, you can put up first, and then the remaining of the money you earn, you will be taxed on. So it's a tax deduction like the wealthy use. So you got to utilize that. You know, when you own your own company, you're self-employed, then you want a simple 401k or you want a solo 401k. Now, we're going to get off into how you decide to pick a stock, how do you analyze the direction of a stock and stuff like that into further episodes. But I just want us to get to understanding financing 101. And just for a recap, 52-week low, 52-week high is an understanding of the difference the stock been in between the last 52 weeks. The ticker symbol for Wisconsin Energy is WEC. Price over earnings, that's the PE ratio. So with that company is 21. Various industries, the PE ratio differs. Certain companies don't even, we deal with technology companies, their PE ratio is skyrocket different level. When you're dealing with durable goods, then they have an industry average that you look for the PE, for PE. So, and we're going to get off into that, understanding indicators, how to find stocks and all that. But what I want us to understand is we need to start to do our own investing. We need to start preparing for our future. We need to start preparing for our youth future so that we don't leave our people consistently dependent on our oppressors in order to succeed. We're going to forever have our people at a disadvantage if we don't decide to build our own institutions. And we can't wait on one individual, an athlete or somebody like that to do this, to fund us or our liberation. It's going to take us. It's going to be a step-by-step process. And yeah, people wonder like, oh, well, how do this work? So we're going to get off into it. We're going to go into what the legal process is, because by law, you can put up $3,000, tax deductible. I'm a horrible speller. But tax deductible, you put the $3,000 in there, tax deductible on your IRA. The Roth, the money is taxed first, then after you put it, and then when you reach retirement age, when you pull it out, then it's taxed at a lower rate. The IRA, the money is taxed. Money is not taxed. It's taxed after pulled out. Yeah, at a lower rate. This money is taxed before it's put in, and then you don't pay no taxes on the money when it grows, when you pull it out. That's the difference between the Roth. But for now today,